Hello everybody. Welcome to the studio. I haven't talked to you in a little bit. It is August 16th, Thursday, August 16th. I believe we did not do a report all last week at all. And we didn't do a Tuesday, obviously, this week. Tuesday report. Please understand this. We do 2 reports a week all year long, basically. With the exception of maybe the cold of winter and the peak heat of summer, when none of us are really fishing too much. I still try and keep you a little bit going, so don't jump ship on me. Don't think we're done because we didn't do reports last week. Don't drop. It's pointless to unsubscribe for 1 month. In September, we will be back doing 2 reports a week. I film on Tuesdays, I film on Thursdays. They upload and air on Wednesdays and Fridays, okay? So please, don't jump ship. That's all I'm saying. I got a really cool report for you today. Catching you up since we haven't talked to you in a week or so. Lake levels, we're having a typical summer usage, evaporation, rate of flow, etc. happening. And we're basically dropping somewhere near a ½ an inch to an inch a day, depending on what they do. And so if we drop an inch, like yesterday to today, usually what that means is they pulled a little bit of water for municipal, not Dallas, but for this local area. We usually have a ½ inch rate of flow, which is what has to be released below the dam to keep the federal government happy with what's running in the creek. It's what's naturally should be running in the creek. So they got what's called rate of flow. That's that little pipe that always flowing out the dam. That's about a ½ inch a day less than. We get a ½ inch evaporation and somewhere you use ½ inch usage. And where that usage is, again, it's being pumped out near the SRA corner, over in Alba, Yantis area. And I also believe a lot of irrigation for people that are watering their lawns. But anyways, an inch a day is nothing. It's nothing. The reason I'm making a point of this is what I just said. A point of this is falling water points fish out. It means it pulls them out to points. It doesn't matter if you're way in the back in vegetation, it pulls them out to points of the vegetation. So maybe high water, they're up in the lily pads. Falling water, they pull out to the edges, and where the lily pads make points, those are where they're going to be, okay? Same thing with anything. Grass, wood can make points, tree lines make points, and obviously the earth itself can make points. We have a channel called Let's Talk Fishing, which is an upgrade from this free public channel right here. You can look in the description below, click on the link and follow us. Become a member. This coming week on Sunday, I'm doing a lesson about underwater points. So a quick invite, come check us out. Let's talk fishing. About 70 hours worth of information in an archive right there for you to learn about. Big library of information. Let's Talk Fishing in the description below. But anyways, underwater points, not ones that we see. You got Main Lake Point right there at Lake Fork Marina, and you see the earth and it's dry, there's no more water. That's a Main Lake Point. Well, what about the points that are underwater, submerged points? Those are critical. And when the water's falling, water points them out. Remember that. That is a kind of a free public tip on what's going on right now. 0 to 1 clarity everywhere. I've seen it be a little clear, and I've seen it be worse in summer. I've seen some signs of when we cool trended that it turned over just a little bit. Thermocline was in. We had the hurricane and we had a cold front for a week. They kind of turned over a little. Nothing major. It didn't hurt anything, I don't believe. Good color. And in that, we've gotten lower temperatures than normal. That's my reason for saying that. 87 to 90 degrees. That's your lower temperatures. Lower than normal for this time of year. Okay? So fishing's still slow during the day. It is a bit tough. Early mornings, obviously, the first hour or so, you have an opportunity to catch some fish. Think shallow water next to deep water. Some kind of a road or a flat or a point or underwater point that's got deep water close by. Shallow water, deep water. Those big fish will pull up at night, maybe hunt on a flat and then roll off that deep water edge. They'll be sometimes just staged on that deep water edge early morning, where maybe there's food on the flat. And, kind of like in spring in a way. But just brief. Shallow top water, maybe big worm, just kind of go fishing. Again, the end of the day, it's hard to fish, but the last hour can be magic hour depending on where you're at in the lake. If you got some shad and things like that, you might have some top water the very last hour. It could be a big school of white bass. It could be some largemouth. If you are, down south somewhere, you can just have a, top water blow up frenzy right at the last 30 minutes of all big largemouths that just happen to pull up. So keep that in mind. But other than that, I suggest you fish Lake Fork at night. Night's the deal. I have a great night report that I'm going to share with our members only. And some key locations and key docks that they can go right to right away. Remember, there's a members only channel. It's different than the Let's Talk Fishing channel that I discussed. But same thing. It's an upgrade of what you're doing here. It gives you a lot more information. Check it out in the link below. Members only or Let's Talk. Let's do this. Let's give you... Again, the bass fishing, again, I would be at night. If it was me, I wouldn't go out till about 30 minutes before dark. An hour before dark. Lunch an hour before dark and fish till 1, 2 in the morning. But the crappie fishing, all right, if you are a crappie fisherman, Lake Fork has literally led the pack. I think it's above and beyond world class. The crappie fishing in Lake Fork gets better and better and better, even though we're approaching the later part of summer. They're still seeing lots of crappie on brush piles, on laydowns. Some days they bite, some days they don't. They really lock up, which is very typical in the summer period for fish. And most of them are black crappie. Remember, this is coming from Jackie Wiggins, guy Jackie Wiggins. He's such a great guy. He gives such a thorough report. He said there's also some fish on the bridges, so you can get underneath the bridges in some shade and fish those columns. You're gonna need live scope to ensure that you got fish there. But minnows are the dominant bait for this time of year. There's nothing better than a large minnow. You can use some small hand-tied jigs, maybe a hand-tied jig tipped with a minnow. But he says basically, those crappie and minnows in the summer is your best deal. 18 to 32 feet is your key depth on those. If you like catfish, he says 13 to 20 feet. Just look for those roosting birds. Anywhere you see those black cormorant birds, maybe you're out crappie fishing and you see some cormorant birds. Remember that, because if you don't even have to bait that, but if you'll chum that tree a little bit, come back the next day, you won't believe how fast you can fill the limit of eater-sized catfish. It's unbelievable. I mean, 6 guys, 25 per person, 150 fish can be caught in less than a couple hours. It's amazing. But anyways, that's Jackie Wiggins catching us up on the crappie. Another thing I do want to end you with, and I hate to be like I'm soliciting you. Remember, this is a free public channel. I believe I give a lot of good information here free. I believe I give a lot more information than most, certainly guides especially, would give. Especially free. So, I do want to invite you to my members only channel. It's $4.99 a month. Look, I got a bag of plastics right here, and it says $5.49 on it. If I told you that was what the bite was, there's a high chance some of you would buy that. Maybe several bags of that. So, look, come on. The world we live in is the way things are. Come subscribe to my members only channel. It's $4.99 a month. You're getting 8 videos that are upgraded. And here's the reason I'm pushing this right now. Lake Fork doesn't fish very well right now. But I have reports right now for about 5 other lakes from 5 other fishing guides and that offer other species of fish, hybrids, strappers, so on and so on. And I got a lake right now that's so hot on bass fishing. It's so on fire on bass fishing right now. You want to know it just for the month. Subscribe and then unsubscribe. But listen, in that members only channel, I give a lot more information, a lot more detailed information that you can find useful. Everything from Lake Lavon, Hubbard, OH-Ivy, Bodark, Athens, Welsh, and many, many more lakes that we cover in those reports. Again, other guides help me out with that. It's real thorough. Okay, with that being said, big shout out to all the sponsors. J. Hodge Chevrolet just took care of my truck last week. I love those guys. Got me all maintenance stuff and tires and oil and everything. And I highly recommend, if you need service, go see J. Hodge Chevrolet. Takes us inside a fishing report. We're about 2/3 of the way through the season. We still have some filming to go. We finish up about mid-September. That's been going really well. Every week the report is awesome, so I invite you to come watch that on television. Come watch the Texas Insider Fishing Report, and it is on, where did I put it now? Bally Sports is the easiest way to go find it, Bally Sports. But anyways, I appreciate it. Hit the like button if you found this good. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging in there. If you're in the Lake Fork Marina area, be sure to check out Lake Fork Marina store. Get you some pie right there at the restaurant, or eat a good lunch and then a piece of pie. Say hi to everybody. Tell me you saw the show. Really appreciate you, and we'll see you next week with a little bit more information. Again, one last thing. Remember, if you don't get a video during August, don't freak out. We didn't quit. We're not jump ship. We didn't move off to another state. We're just, it's August, all right? Hang in there with us.